Hello and welcome to AEF TV in association with Engerati. I'm joined now by the Honourable Charles Zulu, who is the Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Water Development. So he's got a lot of it on his plate from Zambia. So firstly, welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us in the studio.
Yeah.
Because we're pressured for time, I wanted to dive into the sort of some of the pressing questions and ask you about what are the opportunities that exist for investors within the power sector within Zambia?
Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank the organizers of this forum for a job well done, and I'm quite happy that this forum also. We invited, students from schools, and it's good that we are going that route. Well, opportunities in Zambia, yes. As you may be aware, Zambia is a landlocked country. That's what people call it. But us in the energy sector, we are not looking at Zambia in that manner anymore. We are saying Zambia is a landlocked country. Why? Because we enjoy a lot of water. 40% of the water in the region, in the SADC region, is found in Zambia, and we enjoy good relations with our neighbors, all of them. We don't fight with them. We are in very good books. So what we're looking at, why don't we use this water to generate enough power, feed the Zambians, then we start exporting to our neighbors, you see.
So your opportunity is in the hydropower side of things and harnessing that things like that as well.
Exactly. Exactly. The hydropower, yes, and it's maybe you are aware that it's 99% at the moment hydro in Zambia, yes. But the only challenge that we have is that the 2014-2015 rain season hasn't been good to Zambia. We've experienced low rainfall and the water levels have gone down. But now that's why now we're looking at renewables, other sources of energy. As you may be aware again that we enjoy 6 to 8 hours sunshine in Zambia. Okay, so there are opportunities there for renewable energy. Yeah. So as a country, again, other opportunities lie in the rural areas where only 4% of the rural communities where we find a lot of people connected to the grid. So all of those, to me, they are opportunities. And also, let me mention here that we have a potential in Zambia of 6,000 megawatts. 6,000 megawatts, but unfortunately, we have only developed 2,316 megawatts. So where is the other 3,000 something megawatts? So to me, those are opportunities. We let people come into Zambia and invest so that we cover the 6,000 megawatts. And again, we are able to connect the rural communities. I think all of those are opportunities.
And I think also, you mentioned it in a short briefing you gave yesterday, and I don't want to misquote you, so these are my words and you can correct them, but you're also saying that you also have a responsibility towards the water. You don't want to over-harness it to such a place that, you don't end up with this precious resource as well. So you've got a balancing act to play there, haven't you?
Yeah. Like I mentioned yesterday, if we continue generating the 2,300 and something megawatts, if we continue at that rate, we'll drain all the water will go. Right. So we are going to experience in Zambia a lot of load shedding. Yeah, we are going to reduce. We've already reduced by 300 megawatts, and we are further. In the next 2-3 months, we'll be reducing by another 300 megawatts, so that we still maintain the waters in our Kariba North Bank.
So that then goes back into sort of the next area of exploration. So what you're saying is that there is a driver now to potentially change the energy mix within Zambia, or go down that route. Right?
Exactly.
Bring renewables into play. Try and offset some of that burden on the hydro piece.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So can you just expand on that a little bit more?
Going back a couple of years, we came up with this hydro power station. And we sat back. We thought we had enough, so we cannot go further, you see. Yeah. Now we found ourselves in a situation that the mining industry suddenly grew. We had 2 big mines. So using the same power that we came up with in 1930, 1960s.
Right.
You see what I mean? So we were still using that. So suddenly there was this deficit. We were not looking at expanding the power stations. But when we experienced this deficit, we started by first expanding the ones that we had. We expanded them. We came up with new hydropower stations, and we are also looking at coming up with more. That's where now investors are invited. But what is the most critical thing about Zambia is that we are a very peaceful country. Okay, we are a peaceful country. We have changed presidents 4, 5 times, even 6 times. Okay, this one is the 60th president.
Without any big dramas.
No problems. Yes, and I think for an investor, that is a plus to us, Zambia. Again, we enjoy, like I said, we enjoy 6 to 8 hours sunshine. Okay, we enjoy 40% of the water in the region, and government also has come up with a regime where we don't charge for whoever wants to invest in the renewable energy sector. Whatever they bring into the country, we don't charge. There's no tax for that.
Right.
So we are putting in all these measures.
There's that incentive because you aren't going to be double taxed or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure. And in terms of, again, one of the other conversations that are happening, and look, this is not just an African problem, but it's around rural electrification as well.
Yeah.
And how do you best get this power into rural areas and so on? And are you looking at perhaps a more distributed power network, so you'd have local grids rather than having mirroring what's happened in Europe, where you have great big transmission lines everywhere?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Like I said, we enjoy 40% of the water in the southern region. But these rivers are in all provinces, okay?
Right.
So what we're trying to do is come up with small hydropower stations in certain areas that will cater for, the rural communities. Again, we are looking at solar plants, where we put up solar plants in all the parts of Zambia, and then we feed the rural communities. But again, we have what we call the Rural Electrification Authority. The Rural Electrification Authority, we've got a master plan up to 2030.
Right.
Okay, where we expect the rural areas to about at least 51% of the rural areas will be connected to the grid. So we've got this master plan which we've been working on the past 6-7 years, yeah, and it's on course. And the only challenge that we have is funding,
right,
and maybe lack of technical manpower. You may be aware that we also import all the components. Solar components, we have to import. Why can someone come up with a plant in Zambia? We start manufacturing in Zambia and distribute to our 8 neighbors.
Well, that will start creating a more sustainable infrastructure, yes,
as
well,
exactly,
and build out Zambia as maybe a center of excellence for solar,
exactly,
and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. I mean, in terms of look, this is a forum where we have investors and we have investors walking around. And again, I'm going to use my words so that you can correct me. It seems like within Zambia the opportunities are threefold. One is on the hydro side, which is a larger scale.
Exactly.
And then there is on the renewable solar side, which is again on a bigger scale. But then there's also potentially an investment opportunity in the transmission grid that you guys are trying to build
exactly,
out.
Yeah.
Have I got that correct?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. On the transmission part, we are looking at interconnectors. We are already working with Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia. We are working together. We come up with an interconnector. Those are transmission lines. Again, we are working with Malawi. We want to connect Zambia and Malawi. Then Mozambique, we are negotiating with Mozambique. Zimbabwe also. And then there is a big one involving 4 countries. Zizabona, we call it. Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, and Namibia.
Right.
We are working together to work so that you may be aware we'll be a hub of power ourselves.
So it creates like a power pool, a bit like the West African power pools,
exactly.
South African power pools.
Yes.
So this is more central. If my geography serves me right.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
as we're coming to the end of a time that we've got here in the studio, if I can hand over to you the platform to give a message out to investors. You've already made the point about how peaceable Zambia is, so that's one of the risks removed. But what are some of the other messages that you'd like to get out there to the investors?
Well, thank you very much. I mean, first I would like to thank the organizers of this forum. It's really fruitful. It's been fruitful for us. We've learned that Uganda way ahead. So we go to Uganda and see how they are doing it, so that we learn from them. These are very important, meetings where we learn a lot. We meet investors, and my door is open. All the ministers' doors in Zambia. Any investor who wants to invest in the energy sector, our doors are open. You can just knock. Even yourself, you come knock. You give me an interview. You will be more than welcome. Yeah.
I will take you up on that.
Sure. So for investors, like I said, Zambia is a very friendly country. And those that are going to have a bit more energy in their pockets as they come, we've got what we call the mighty Victoria Falls, which we share with Zimbabwe. If you've been to Zambia, Livingstone, a town called Livingstone, it's a beautiful, beautiful falls. Yeah, so all investors are welcome. We are very friendly people. And there are all these opportunities, strategically positioned, not landlocked anymore. We are land-linked now.
Yes.
Yeah. To use the technocrats' language, we are power-linked.
You're power-linked.
Yeah.
And I think on that phrase we'll leave it. Minister, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And thank you as well for watching. There's many more interviews and a lot of other ministers sharing this forum. And the other great thing, and the minister mentioned it as well, is there's this real desire to collaborate and learn from each other as well, which is a great thing. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you. Hoping to see you soon in Zambia.
Yes, yes.